Tonight at 5, we'll tell you about weather alert days yet this week, how much snow to expect, and a message from postal workers and how homeowners can help make their job easier.
Plus, a Tamiflu shortage continues to plague pharmacies across the country. How long the shortage could last.
And as Texas communities prepare for an influx of migrants, President Biden asked the Supreme Court to end asylum restrictions. You're watching News 3 now at 5. Some weather alert days later this week could cause a major headache for travelers heading to their holiday gatherings.
And it's not just the snow that we have to worry about. Julian Seawright is on the weather patio with the details. Julian?
Well, yes, that's right. It's not just the snow that we're going to be watching for. It's going to be winds and those really bitterly cold temperatures. So as we get into our alert day, it's going to be from Thursday to Saturday throughout all of southern Wisconsin. But what we're really going to be watching for is the slow developments coming in from Wednesday night into our Thursday afternoon. But if you do have some late-minute grocery shopping or even plans that you need to travel to, well, Thursday morning is going to be about the last spot or time for you to be able to do that. As we take a look at our breakdown of the alert day, heavy snow, high winds could result in possible blizzard-like conditions throughout southern Wisconsin and for the upper Midwest in itself. It's some things to just be mindful of, folks. Now, as we watch for our winter weather bulletins and update, we have a winter storm warning in effect for our friends just west of Lone Rock. This will go in effect 6 p.m. tomorrow and will be in effect until Saturday morning at 6 a.m. For the rest of our winter storm watches, that's for us in Dane County, areas into the northern Illinois, and to the far northeast parts of southern Wisconsin, or of Wisconsin in itself, and that will go in effect from Thursday morning into our Saturday morning. But as of right now, we're dealing with a quiet night, and it is a chilly one, and it's just going to get colder as we continue heading into our Tuesday night for us. Temperatures right now at 16. This is the warmest it's going to be overnight as we see temperatures fall into the single digits, and it's going to get even colder with wind chills right behind it. But we'll talk more details and timings about the impacts for our alert day in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. And ahead of the storm, the United States Postal Service reminding property owners to clear snow and ice from sidewalks and also porches as soon as they can. That way carriers will have a safer walking path. If carriers don't have a clear path or a safe way to get to your home, your deliveries could be delayed.
A lot of times, the residents haven't cleaned off the steps, the sidewalk that lead to the steps to the porch. And so our approach as well as leaving is very critical to the safety of mail carriers.
Businesses that have a blue USPS collection box nearby are also asked to clear snow and ice from around those boxes.
Madison Streets Division has a busy week before and after the storm. Officials say the main concern right now is how long cleanup could take. They say it could be several days before all of the roadways are cleared, so it's important that drivers are well prepared. That includes having some food, water, flashlights, and ways to stay warm in case your car gets stuck in the snow. They also say it's a good idea to move your holiday travel plans up and leave tomorrow if you can. Before the storm starts, be sure to download our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It has hourly forecasts, school closings, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather. We'll also have everything you need to know to prepare for the storm on our website. Look for a special section that we have at the top of our homepage, channel3000.com.
And there you'll find the latest forecast, weather alerts, and when the snow is expected to hit your area. And we'll also have a list of businesses that are closed because of the weather. Well, the Department of Health Services has confirmed a Wisconsin child has died from flu complications.
Officials did not provide any further details about the child, including their age. This marks the first pediatric flu-associated death in the state this season. Across the nation, 30 pediatric flu deaths have been reported. Everyone 6 months and older is urged to get a flu shot, especially those who are at greater risk of illness.
Meanwhile, a Tamiflu shortage continues to plague pharmacies all across the country. The antiviral drug helps people who have onset flu symptoms, but stores are having a tough time keeping it in stock because of supply issues. We spoke with Dr. David Ottenbaker from SSM Health about the shortage. He says, unfortunately, it could be a few months before supply is back up.
It's not as available as we would like it, not anywhere near close to it. And in years past, we've had some minor shortages, but nothing like this. And we expect this to be, during the whole influenza season for us, that this is not a 1 or 2 week shortage. This will probably go through the influenza season this year.
Well, two of the nation's largest pharmacy chains are now limiting purchases of ibuprofen and acetaminophen for children because of short supply and high demand. That move comes amid nationwide outbreaks of flu and other respiratory illnesses. CVS is limiting shoppers to 2 products each. Walgreens limiting online orders to 6 over-the-counter pain and fever relief products for children. Well, a proposal to change a decades-old zoning law in Madison is being described as well-intended, but some people are worried it won't have the desired effect.
Tahlil Moeddin took a look at that proposal and joins us now to share why some don't want to see it move forward. Tahlil?
City leaders say it's a way to make Madison more equitable and put an end to one key rule separating renter and owner-occupied homes. Right now, more than 1/3 of the city of Madison is zoned to prevent more than 2 unrelated renters from living together. But for owner-occupied homes in those same areas, that limit is 5. The proposal would make it the same across the board at 5. Some who live in the neighborhoods closest to UW-Madison have reservations about the proposed changes. They say while they support the city's goal to make homes more accessible to renters who are often lower income or people of color, that's not what would happen in their communities.
They seem to have some difficulty recognizing that the area around campus and the pressures put on them by student housing are real, would take place, and that it's a different kind of environment than other places.
Some are worried the proposed change in code will lead to an influx of students in their neighborhoods, bringing along with them noise, litter, and poorly maintained properties. For their part, city leaders say given the number of new apartments targeting students being built downtown, they're not convinced of an impending student takeover should the zoning change be approved.
Tahlil, thank you. It is expected to be busy in the halls of the Capitol after the new year, as a new budget cycle comes with lots of money to spend.
And ahead of that cycle, we are sitting down with the lawmakers at the center of those decisions. Political reporter Will Keneally has more. Will?
So we're starting on the Democratic side here. They're in the minority this year, which is nothing new, but they narrowly prevented Republicans this year from getting a supermajority. So with limited power, what are Democrats to do? Assembly Minority Leader Greta Neubauer has some ideas.
In these times in which many people are pretty disillusioned with politics and government.
And in the wake of that, Wisconsin Assembly Minority Leader Greta Neubauer says that the legislature has some work to do to show off how government can be a force for good and to work across the aisle.
Sort of our second priority is working with Republicans wherever possible to get things done and to address some of our state's long-term challenges.
She says that those long-term challenges include supporting local governments through state aid, something called shared revenue.
And I know that legislators from every kind of community, big and small, urban, rural, suburban, have been hearing about this challenge from their local governments. So I'm hopeful that we can make some progress there.
She hopes that can be an area of agreement between Democrats and Republicans, who are led by the powerful Assembly Speaker Robin Vos.
Vos and I have neighboring districts, which I think provides some helpful perspective, and that we've, got some shared concerns in our part of the state.
The one thing Democrats will have to watch out for this session, just missing a few votes could turn the tide and give Republicans a supermajority.
Our caucus is really clear that upholding the governor's vetoes is one of our top priorities for this session.
Neubauer doesn't foresee any Democrats breaking ranks, but is making sure that they will have enough numbers to prevent a veto override throughout the session.
And we know that means being in Madison quite a bit, and being ready to be on the floor and remain unified in upholding those vetoes.
So that's on the Democratic side. We'll be speaking with Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos later this week about his priorities for the next year. Tune in Friday to hear our interview with him.
All right, Will, thank you. President Biden will head to Mexico earlier in the new year for the North American Leaders Summit, scheduled for January 9th and 10th in Mexico City. Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also expected to attend. National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications John Kirby says the goal is to, quote, build on concrete progress for climate and environmental matters. Last year's summit was held in Washington. None were held during the Trump administration.
As Title 42 was set to expire, Supreme Court Justice John Roberts put a temporary hold on ending the policy. Today, President Biden asked the Supreme Court to end asylum restrictions, but to delay the decision until at least after Christmas. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
people know that Title 42 is being lifted, and they're coming.
Title 42, a controversial pandemic-era immigration policy allowing officials to swiftly expel migrants at the U.S. border over COVID-19 restrictions, was set to end Wednesday, until Chief Justice John Roberts put a temporary hold on its termination. El Paso City Representative Claudia Rodriguez says even if Title 42 remains, the humanitarian crisis isn't going away for either side of the border.
The people of Juarez are also not prepared for this. They're not happy with this. They haven't asked for this. And quite frankly, I mean, at this point, extending it is only going to push the problem over to them.
Shortly after the brief pause of termination of Title 42 was announced, one official with Customs and Border Protection saying, quote, everyone is breathing a collective sigh of relief, albeit a temporary one. Despite everything going on at the Supreme Court, the city of El Paso says it is getting ready for an influx of migrants as if the policy was still expiring Wednesday. A major concern, opening up more shelter space.
We want to make sure that we're prepared. We've heard that numbers are really big in Mexico right now in Juarez, and there's probably over 20,000 over there today that are waiting for Title 42 to be lifted.
One White House official saying the pause on the termination will not have any effect on what have been intensive behind-the-scenes preparations. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
The White House is calling on Congress to approve additional migrant and border patrol resources and eventually find a way to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Sentencing is next for disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein after a Los Angeles jury convicted him of rape. Weinstein was accused of using his Hollywood influence to lure women into private meetings and assault them. He was found guilty on 3 of the 7 charges he faced. An attorney representing some of the women says each one contributed to justice.
They have demonstrated that empowered and courageous women are able to make powerful men accountable for the injustices that they have inflicted on women.
Weinstein faces 24 years in prison on the California charges. Of course, he's already serving 23 years after being convicted of similar charges in New York back in 2020. But that state's highest court has agreed to hear an appeal. Coming up, Julian tells us what to expect during this week's weather alert days.
Plus, how airlines are planning ahead as the storms are expected to cause several flight delays and cancellations across the Midwest. We'll have details after the break. And later, our 12 days of giving continues. We'll introduce you to a grandmother who left everything behind down south to come and raise her grandson. He is priceless, by the way, and how we stepped in to give her a little help.
And a check of the markets, the Dow Jones Industrial Average adds more than 92 points today. The NASDAQ ticks slightly higher, adding just a point. The S&P 500 gains just 4. We'll be right back.
Can be so stressful. So give the gift of wellness. Buy $100 in Massage Envy gift cards and receive a free $20 promo card. Keep your body working.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Never have I ever put literally every single item in our store on sale, even the items that never go on sale. Every item?
Join us now through December 24th for our never on sale sale. Only at Rogers and Hollins.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Save big on all Metabo power tools and accessories now at Menards. Metabo offers a huge selection of products such as nailers, saws, drills, drivers, bits, and more. Now you can tackle the toughest jobs with a powerful 18-volt cordless impact driver. This driver provides innovative solutions, keeping your job site more productive than ever. That's why Metabo is the choice of pros. Save big on Metabo now at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
We have new details on our alert day for the impending winter storm. We'll break it down for you coming up.
Then some believe Madison's proposed zoning laws threaten to change the neighborhoods closest to campus. What the revision could do if passed, tonight at 6.
Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified, most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A rarely used federal law that gives congressional committees the right to obtain the tax returns of any U.S. citizen has lawmakers discussing former President Trump's tax returns today. Deborah Alfarone reports from Washington.
The room, then we're going to give some time.
The House Ways and Means Committee is expected to vote on whether to publicly release former President Donald Trump's tax returns.
Given the confidential nature of the subject matter, I now move that pursuant to Clause 2G1 of House Rule 11, the committee proceed to executive session.
The Democratic-controlled committee received 6 years of Trump's tax returns last month when the Supreme Court declined to block their release to Congress, ending years of legal wrangling. Since then, committee members have been looking at his 2015 to 2020 returns, covering the time he was campaigning and serving in the White House.
We're in a position to finish some work that we started a few years ago, and we're going to see it through.
The timeline to release the returns was sped up when Republicans took control of the House in the midterm elections, and now they've promised to shut down the investigation into Trump's taxes when they take control in January. Democrats sought the returns, saying they were needed to evaluate an IRS program that audits presidents. Republicans call it a politically motivated attack on Trump.
After nearly half a century, the political enemies list is back in Washington, D.C., and we worry this will unleash a cycle of political retribution in Congress.
Every president since Richard Nixon has voluntarily released their tax returns, except Trump. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
While the lawmakers deliberated behind closed doors about whether to release former President Trump's tax returns, they approved a vote to release a transcript of that debate at a later time in the interest of transparency.
Airlines want travelers to consider rebooking their Christmas trips ahead of some nasty winter weather across much of the U.S. The blizzard will hit southern Wisconsin, Chicago on peak holiday travel days. Travel experts say now is the time to switch those plans. United, American, and Southwest among many airlines posting travel waivers for those flying to, from, or through many U.S. airports. The waivers typically allow passengers to rebook without any change fees or fare increases. You can check their websites for the details. Julian joins us now with when and what we can expect as those weather alert days draw near. Julian?
And as you said, Eric, now is the time for you to really reconsider or replan and schedule your travel plans, because once we get into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, it may be a little late for many of us. So we have that winter storm, which is why we have the alert day from Thursday into Saturday. Now, Saturday is going to be a bit of a change, but we'll talk about as of why. Heavy snow, high winds, and a possible result of blizzard-like conditions when we combine the two. That's what we're going to be watching for, but on top of it, we also have some bitterly cold temperatures right behind it. So let's take a look at our winter weather bulletin boards. As we can see, west of Lone Rock. We have that winter storm warning in effect from Wednesday at 6 p.m. is where we're going to start to see a bit of that snow start to roll its way into southern Wisconsin. But for us in Dane County, we'll start to watch that and really start to have that winter storm watch in effect until 6 a.m. Thursday until Saturday morning. And that also goes to impact northern Illinois from our Thursday evening. So it's quiet now, and it's going to be quiet throughout much of Wednesday. But even though it's quiet, it's going to be very cold. So make sure you're layering up and limiting your time outdoors. We're going to be seeing below zero temperatures heading out the door for Wednesday morning, and cloud cover is going to blanket our skies once again. So it was short-lived that we had some sunshine here in southern Wisconsin, because once we get into Wednesday evening, well, we're going to start to see some of that snow developing, coming in from the southwestern side and then being more widespread by the time we get into our dinner time hours. Now, what we are going to be watching for is what happens overnight. A bit of that light snow could accumulate maybe an inch or two throughout much of southern Wisconsin, and that would include Dane County. But throughout much of our Thursday, it really won't start to pick up until we get into our Thursday evening. That's when we're looking for a bit more heavier snowfall from Dane County and areas to the east, and the winds will start to pick up right behind it. So now we have the threat of blowing snow and even some snow drifts going in from our Thursday night into our Friday morning. And on top of it, we're still dealing with some light snowfall throughout Friday morning and afternoon, and we won't really start to see that snow clearing out until we get into our overnight hours for Friday. Now, by clearing out, we still could see blowing snow. It just won't be falling, and the wind speeds are going to be right behind us. So we're still watching and monitoring, but we are also making adjustments as well. So don't hold on to these snowfall totals, but this is what we're watching as of right now. 6 to 9 inches throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Some areas could see about an inch or two less, and some areas could a bit closer achieve near the 9-inch mark, but overall we're going to be looking for it to be relatively significant in terms of snowfall totals. But outside of the snow, we got to talk about the wind, because that is going to be the other hazard from this winter storm. Once we get into Thursday evening, we're going to be picking up near 30 miles per hour winds for us here in southern Wisconsin and into the upper Midwest, and then 40 miles to 50 miles per hour winds will be consistently sustained throughout much of our Friday, heading into the overnight, especially for Christmas Eve. And we're not going to really start to see those fall apart until we get into Christmas morning. So it is going to be a windy one once again, which is why we're going to be watching for the opportunity of seeing blowing snow going into our Christmas day. Now, outside of that, once we get out of the next few days, things will start to be a bit easier for us. We will start to gradually go back to more seasonable temperatures at the end of next week, but we just got to get through the next few days. And of course, we'll be bringing you updates as often as possible through the First Warn Weather app and of course, live on Channel 3000. Outside of that though, we are looking at our traffic on the Beltline east side. Because of that crash, which is on US 51 Stoughton, it is rather slow. So you may want to take an alternate route when you're heading home tonight. And outside of the Beltline on I-39, some construction on the northern parts, but still some slow spots on the Beltline. Once again, you might want to find an alternate route. It's going to do it for weather and for traffic. Over to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Today, leaders from Madison College and the Wisconsin Department of Corrections got together to celebrate the graduation of 9 incarcerated individuals. The ceremony was made possible thanks to the college's Second Chance Pell program. Graduates received technical diplomas in electrical maintenance. The goal is for students to gain the skills necessary to find a job and find opportunities and a livable wage as they integrate back into the community.
I really hope that there are more programs like this that become available to inmates all over the DOC system, because it really is so beneficial to inmates to grow and improve themselves.
The DOC pays for the cost of the classes and the materials needed via a contract with the college. The department also helps students find jobs after graduation. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
He was the local kid who loved to make people laugh. Now learn how Chris Farley found his comedic voice right here in his hometown. Madison Magazine takes you inside the early years before the world met Chris. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Want to know right now what the weather will be like tomorrow? Download the First Warn Weather app and you'll get my customized forecast for tonight and tomorrow.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this holiday season for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Christmas just 5 days away now, and though inflation has showed some signs of easing, many families are still feeling the pinch.
According to a recent Gallup survey, 55% of Americans say they've experienced financial hardship due to rising prices. 26% plan on shortening their gift list this year, with just close family making the cut. As budgets are stretching, credit card debt is soaring 15% in the last year, a pace not seen in more than 2 decades.
The worst thing you can do with your finances is to be paying monthly on things that ideally you should be saving up for.
Another tip, consider group gifts or doing a secret Santa, especially if you have a large family. That way you don't need to buy presents for every single person.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of that all-important First Warn forecast in just a moment.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and doing things you love to do with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Then make the most of your time with the people who matter most. Find new moments, find new roads. Find your red tag and get $1,500 total cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under-eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under-eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more." It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is wholly words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines, like, it's amazing.
You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself, I'm telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This holiday season is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The holidays can be so stressful. So give the gift of wellness. Buy $100 in Massage Envy gift cards and receive a free $20 promo card. Keep your body working.
Finally at 5, Spain's capital Madrid shines brightly during the holiday season. Look at this. The city's landmarks flaunt festive lights, attracting thousands of tourists and locals each year.
That's something else. You can also spot giant Christmas trees there, ornaments and other light displays throughout the city. Christmas markets offering traditional hot chocolate with churros also surround the cap. I had no idea that looks like. That just is amazing. What a place to visit this time of year. We're going to need some hot chocolate and all kinds of shovels and you name
churros.
It. Come on, lunch or whatever.
Just need
get us through the week.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why we have the alert day, because we need everything at this point. It's just going to be cold, it's going to be windy, and of course we have snow right on top of it, folks. Make sure that you're staying flexible and weather aware over the next few days, because it could get very treacherous over in the next few days.
All right, we'll have more updates in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.